Hi everybody, today I'm going to show you how to find a tiger shark in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now hold your horses, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking this is a clickbait video. There is no shark in Red Dead Redemption 2, or else I would have already seen it by now. The game's been out for over 2 months. Well, just because you haven't found the shark yet in the game doesn't mean that it does not exist. This game is massive, that's what she said. And, well, this shark was actually found last week by a user named Edipo, not 100% sure how to pronounce his channel name, but you can find the link to it in the description down below. Now, there's actually a very detailed set of steps that are very intricate and that you have to be very careful following to actually get to the shark. And I will say it's going to take you between 1 hour and 1 hour and 30 minutes to find the shark, so it is a bit time consuming. That's why, real quick, I want to explain some things. But before we get started, obviously, let me beg for some likes real quick. If y'all do learn something from this video, aka there being a shark in Red Dead Redemption 2, hopefully I can earn your thumbs up. Now, I will say that I want to classify this as an Easter egg, but that's up for debate because a lot of people may see this and think that this shark isn't an Easter egg. It's just simply a leftover fish in the game. And the reason I say it's leftover is because you can't study the shark, you can't skin the shark, you can't fish the shark, you can't do anything with it. You can't add it to your compendium. It's simply just there. Now, it is solid, it is in the game, but that's it. It's literally just like a piece of grass in the game. It's there, but you can't do anything with it. But nonetheless, there is a shark, and it's very, very cool. Now, if you do want to watch Edpo's video, you can check that one out. He has a bunch of steps. I've reduced the steps. His video doesn't feature commentary. Mine does. So that's up for personal preference. That's up to you guys. But there's 11 steps on how to find the shark in the game. And the first step is you're going to need to stock up on everything. And by everything, I mean food. You want to buy every single can of food you can. You want to buy every single provision you can. Health tonics, stamina tonics, horse revivers. You want to buy all of that stuff. You also want to make sure that you are playing as Arthur Morgan because this is going to require us to swim, and we know that John Marston, that boy, can't swim. You're also going to need to enable the infinite stamina and the reveal map cheat that's going to unlock the whole map for you since you are playing as Arthur Morgan. For step number 2, you need to actually head over to this location that I have here on the map. Now, once you're in this location, you do actually need to set up a camp and preferably sleep until morning unless you like to travel at night. But nonetheless, you do need to sleep and set up a camp. Step number 3, after you wake up, you're actually going to be outside of the map, even though you don't know it yet. But what you need to do is place a marker near M in Amborino and follow the path that I show you right now.
Hey, boy.
Step number 4, once you are outside of the map or you're close to being outside of the map, you need to ride as far out as possible from the map that you possibly can because you need to avoid the invisible snipers. It doesn't matter how far you make it. If you're too close to the map, those invisible snipers are going to get you, they're going to kill you, and you're going to have to restart all the way back where you camped to first get outside of the map. It's not fun. It happened to me one time. Another pro tip that I can give you when doing this is make it a habit of continuously checking your map to see where you are because we are going to be heading to Mexico. So just ride as far out as possible, preferably along the boundary between the textured land, the solid land, and the non-textured land. If you go off, you're going to fall under the map. Obviously, the floor is not solid. So just ride along that boundary. Be very careful because there is a lot of bumps that are going to knock you off your horse. They can kill you or they can kill your horse. If they do kill your horse, since you're already using cheats, just put the run cheat in, spawn you a racehorse, and you don't have to walk because if you walk, that's going to take you a very long time. But remember, just stay as far outside of the map as you can and head to Mexico. Step number 5, once you reach the border of Mexico, you don't actually want to go into Mexico and into the normal land of Mexico. You actually want to ride in the mountains on the other side of Mexico as far south as possible. And you want to ride those mountains all the way until you get to Guarma. There's a long ride ahead of you, but there's not anything out there. So ride those mountains. Don't go into Mexico necessarily. Go outside of Mexico as far south as you possibly can. And remember, keep checking your map. That's going to lead us to step number 6. And like I said, keep checking that map because once you actually check your map and you see that Guarma is there and the map has changed to Guarma, you're doing good. But you're actually going to have to backtrack and go back to the normal world. So what you want to do is from the top left corner of the Guarma map, you want to head northwest back into the normal world. You're going to see New Austin flooded. It's going to look crazy. It's look like a big tsunami hit. You know you're on the right path if you see that. But you want to head over to Thieves Landing. And while doing this, make sure that your pause menu map is still Guarma. You want it to say Guarma. It's going to be hard to know where you are, but you're going to find this location that I have here in the game. And once you reach Thieves Landing, that's going to bring us to step number 7. And that is go to the shore and drink all the alcohol that you can until you pass out. That's why I said stock up on everything possible, including alcohol. So you're going to drink until you pass out. And then when you wake up after falling under the map, you're actually going to be in Guarma. That's going to lead us to step number 8. And once you wake up in Guarma, head over to the fort on the other side of the map. Now, step number 9 is where things get a bit tricky and where you have to be a bit careful. So once you are at step 9, you're going to need to follow the beach to the rocks and the water. And once here, stay along the edge of the mountain. That way you don't drown. You can use the edge of the mountain as a wall almost. And with the infinite stamina cheat, that's going to help you out greatly. You can do it without it, but you're going to have to be very careful. But this wall or this mountain actually resets your stamina when you are able to stand on it and you're not swimming in the water. Now, just follow this path as long as you possibly can until you reach step number 10, which is going to be a giant hill. And once you are at this giant hill, you're going to need to head up it. The only thing that's going to be in there is trees. And keep going up this hill until you reach the end of the solid world. And this is going to be where you can tell that if you go any further, you're going to fall through the map. It literally looks like PlayStation 1 graphics. Now, once you reach the end of the solid world there, turn west or right and go downhill until you reach the water. You have about a 5-minute run ahead of you here, and that leads us to the last and final step. Step number 11. Once you actually hit the water, you want to swim out a bit, but not too far because you can die here and you can drown. But once you start swimming out a bit, you're actually going to see a shark fin pop out of the water. And if you start swimming a little bit more, you're going to come across some land, and the shark is actually going to be beached on the land, and you're going to have a dead tiger shark on your hands. That is really cool to check out, and just a tiger shark in Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, like I said before at the beginning of the video, you can't study this animal. You cannot add it to your compendium. You can't do anything with it. You can just look at it. You can take a selfie with it. That's it. But it's a shark in the game, and it's really cool. So I did try to kill myself and go back to this spot to see if the shark would spawn again. I didn't have any luck with that, but if you keep trying, if you can't find the shark or can't get it to spawn, it will eventually happen. You could sometimes see the shark from the shore and just see its fin sticking through the water, and that's it. But a lot of times if you start swimming, something happens to the shark, it dies, and it just comes onto land and just sits there for you to look at. So I'm not sure if this is an Easter egg or if it's just something left over in the game. Being that it's so detailed and hard to get here, I would feel it's an Easter egg. It's something hidden within the game that is just there. Or it could be something left over that became an Easter egg. Who knows? But hopefully y'all learned something new from this video and how to find the shark in Red Dead Redemption 2. If so, hopefully I can earn that thumbs up and your subscription. I upload video game content all the freaking time. So that said, thank y'all for tuning in. Hopefully you found a shark in Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm Zach Cox, and I hope to see you in the next video.